Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy honchojay23 coming to you live with another edition of the Independent Scene, episode 70. That's right, I said it, episode 70. I want to take this opportunity right now to thank everybody that's played a part in this journey, in this process. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the advice, the whole 9 yards. Shouts out to everybody tuning in, everybody for watching. And today's show is gonna be a dope show. I got an artist in the building who's gonna be coming through, chopping it up with me. And you know, we just gonna have a good time. We just gonna vibe out. So with that being said, let me find my guest at this time, and then we're gonna chop it up, and we just gonna shoot the breeze. You know what I mean? So like I said, you guys, welcome to episode 70. So we're gonna get it lit, we're gonna get it popping, we're gonna get it right, the whole 9 yards. And like I said, feel free to ask questions, the whole 9 yards. And with that being said, my guest is in the building. So ladies and gentlemen, and if I say your name wrong, bro, my bad. Please welcome at this time my guest for episode 70, guest number 70, my boy, Juby. What's good? Yo, what's good?
Yo, hey, it's Jubei.
Jubei. That's how I said.
Yeah.
If I get your name wrong, my bad.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I'm usually bad with names, but anyway, what's good with you? What's good with you, my man?
Just chilling, working on music, same shit, different day.
Oh, okay. Well, I said, we ain't gonna waste no time because I'm sure you got stuff going on. But first things first, introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are, and we're gonna top into it.
All right, man. I'm Jubei. I'm with Brinks Entertainment, so it's a small independent label. We've been working on music for about 3 years now, but this is the year moving into 2021. Yeah, Jubei.
Okay, that's what it is. Sorry about that loud ass motorcycle coming through here a while ago. But yeah, so all right, so my first question I got for you, my man, is how did you tap into the music scene? Like what what made you say, this is something that I want to do, you know what I mean?
Well, I was raised Buddhist, so I've always questioned things and thought about life and all that kind of stuff. And growing up, I was real passionate about wrestling, but I ended up ripping out both of my shoulders when I was around 17 or 18. And I used to do that every day of my life. So it's kind of when I stopped doing that, I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing? Everything felt kind of pointless. And I actually have a real close cousin that was already working on music. And when I started smoking, I used to just freestyle with my niggas, when we were just smoking shit. And they used to always be like, bro, you can rap. You should rap for real. Write something down. And I probably bullshitted on that for a year. And then after about a year of just freestyling with niggas, I finally did write my first song. And without really thinking about it, I went to a professional studio that was probably 30 minutes from my crib. And once I got to hear myself, when I stepped into the booth and when I touched the mic, that's the first real feel of excitement in my life I felt since wrestling, for real. It was just damn, this feels good. This feels like home. And when I heard the quality of the music and the song, I was just yeah, I can fuck with this. This is something I can stick with.
Okay, that's what it is. All right, so my next topic, my next question in play is who would you say has had a big influence on your musical career? I mean, do you have any influences, or you pretty much just...
When I first started rapping, I got a lot of comparisons to Kendrick. When I would just freestyle, just because I fuck with Kendrick so heavy. When I was going through a lot of my life, he's somebody I would listen to and just, try to push me through it. And one of my favorite songs by him, Little Johnny, when he released his project Damn, it was actually kind of a part 2 to that song. And a lot of people don't know K-Dot from back then. A lot of people wouldn't even know that song. But the way he story tells was just beautiful to me. So what I try to do is when I write my music, I try to, tell stories through it. Stories of my life, stories of people around me, all that kind of stuff. So if you really analyze the bars that I'm saying or really listen to what I'm saying to you and how I deliver it, I'm trying to give you a whole experience, a mood. So I really feel I helped strengthen that part of my music through listening to artists like Kendrick and J. Cole, just very good storytellers.
Okay, and I can relate to both of them, and I definitely support both J. Cole and Kendrick because they're both, like I said, are some storytellers, and I love the way how they interpret their lyrics and their songs. So that's definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
All right, so my next thing I want to tap into is who would you where would you say is your goals for 2020? What's your number one goal for this year?
My number one goal for this year was to literally just progress every day. So I've been doing a lot of reading. I recently read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Very great read. It's definitely something that's helped shift the paradigm of my life. So in terms of goals, I actually have all of them written out, but I'm trying to stack up another 30 songs or so while I'm approaching 2021, because I have this really big concept that, you know, I'm trying to attack this upcoming year. So in order for me to do that, I have to have a big stockpile of work that's ready to go, ready to drop. I'm also getting some music videos shot right now. So I actually just finished shooting a song called 300 Degrees, got the video done, almost finished editing. I have about 5 more that are in the hole. So the rest of these 6 months is literally all just stacking up content, and getting ready to attack 21.
Okay, okay. Now, as far as albums and singles goes, how many albums, or how long, or should I say, how long is your category when it comes to music? Like, how many albums and singles do you currently own out right now?
Right now, in terms of a full body of work, I have one full body of work that's done in terms of I wrote out, this is what I want in this project. But just in terms of songs, I already have like 40 or 50 songs that are good, ready to go.
Okay. Now, now let me ask you, don't want to pick it back for a quick second.
Go ahead.
Now, when it comes to getting started and things of that nature, how long did it take you before you got your start in the music field?
When you say got my start, what do you mean by that? Like when I felt like I was an artist, or when someone like kind of reached out to me and tried to pass an opportunity?
I want to say kind of both, maybe.
Well, when I felt like, okay, this is what I'm doing, like this is the direction of my life, it took about 2 years. So I started around 2017, and it was about, I want to say, it was like March of 2019 that I really sat down and said, oh yeah, like this is what I'm doing. I'm an artist for real. Like I don't see another path for my life right now. I want to say that was like 2019. And in terms of somebody trying to give me an opportunity, well, like I said, my guys and I, we're at Brinks Entertainment, you know, we started our own opportunity. So, you know, in 2018, we got the LLC done. We started just, you know, making certain business moves just in terms of developing ourselves as artists, and, you know, finding out who we were going to need to start working with and collabing with in order to push our name a little bit further. But as far as opportunity, it's all homegrown right now. Nobody's reached out yet, but we're taking our own initiative.
Okay. Now, when it comes to songs and artists and entertainers out here all over the world that's performing and doing their thing, for you as an artist, who would you personally would feel like you'll want to collab with or make a song with?
It's a lot of up and coming guys. Like one of my favorite guys out of New York, and I was a big fan of his back in 2017. I still been keeping up with his recent work. Jake Critch. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I really like the energy that he brings on the tracks. He works with Rich the Kid at Rich Forever. Like, yeah, I like those guys a lot. I like the style when they came in around 2017, where they would just bounce off of each other's rap, where they would say one line, Rich would say another line, Dex would say another line, but it was all cohesive. I enjoyed that a lot. So I could definitely see myself on a track with him. Are you hip to Baby Plug?
I've heard of the name, but I've never listened to his music.
So he just started like really booming right now. One of his tracks, Still Bunkin', that joint goes crazy. Like if I could get on a track with him and he brought that kind of energy, I would definitely, like we would make a hit. So, you know, definitely him. But I mean, it's a lot of guys, but when in terms of who I want to collab with and everything, that's one of the thought process that I don't think about it too much right now, just because I know how much more I need to do for myself for. Mm-hmm. But just off the top of my head, Baby Plug, I'll definitely work with him. I like Lil Baby a lot. Who else just went crazy? Dirk just went crazy. I'm not gonna lie, especially him with Polo G and Baby on Three-Headed Goat.
Okay.
His last tape went crazy, so I could definitely see myself with a feature from him too.
Okay, bet that. Now, when it comes to stages and venues that you've been at, I'm pretty sure you probably performed at a couple of venues, a couple of places.
Yeah.
Now, what for you would you say is your most memorable or favorite place that you ever performed at?
When I was at DC, I used to stay around that area, and I performed at a few venues around there. Shout out to Mia, Just Business Promotions. She was putting me on with a lot of my shows when I first started performing back in like 2018. And in terms of memorable, I can't even remember the name of the venue right now, but I remember the first venue that I went to, my very first performance. Just like the anxiety you feel, like as soon as you get on stage, they're about to call you up. Like that first time really feeling that anxiety of, all right, this is what it feels like. This is what it's going to be like. Like I'm about to get out there and spit. Like it's a feeling I'm definitely going to hold on to, because I know it's going to be a similar feeling, you know, stepping up to the stage to accept my first Grammy, or, you know, going and performing at my first BET Awards. Like those are the feelings why I do this every day for you. Feel me? Because I know I'm gonna get there. So just holding on to that very first performance and kind of building off that energy.
Okay, and you know it's funny because that actually led me into my question.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you geographically, you know, if you got that call from BET or the Grammys or MTV, geographically, where would you go?
I'm in Atlanta right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of feel like I'm staying where I'm at, but I did just leave New York, and it was a really good experience in itself. So I can definitely see myself going back to New York after, 5 or 10 years. But I'm really trying to set my roots here for the time being.
Okay. Now, my next thing I want to tap into, when it comes to advice and young and up and coming artists out here in the game, what advice do you have for those young up and coming artists out here that's trying to push the envelope, that's trying to push their weight onto the scene? What advice would you have for them?
Honestly, when I speak to a lot of people and, when I just like listen, I would say stay true to yourself, and you gotta be your biggest fan. Like, no matter what's going on, like, we got 2 people on the live right now. Like, I'm not tripping off that. I know one day it's gonna be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people on the live. Like, you got to keep that energy with you every day.
Right.
And I showed you one of the first songs that I ever made. At the time, you couldn't tell me shit. That song was so hard to me. And it was hard enough to me that it motivated me to become the artist that I am today. But had I questioned myself back then, or had I listened to John Doe or whoever the fuck had an opinion back in the day and, took energy from them and fed off that energy, I wouldn't have got here. I wouldn't be doing music right now. I wouldn't be on this FaceTime with you. You feel me? Like, I was going to stay true to yourself, be your own biggest fan. And if you see that vision for yourself, nobody can take that from you. Control what's in your control, and everything else, you just got to let it flow.
Most definitely. Okay, now my next thing I want to know is when it comes to songs and performances, like what is that one specific thing that you expect the people to take away from your performances at the end of the day?
Like I said, I feel like I'm a very talented storyteller, and I want them to take away the vibe. Because depending on the songs, like I said, I have a lot of bodies of work. But depending on the song, with how I'm going to deliver it to you and the energy I'm going to project onto you, I want you to not only say, damn, like I fuck with that beat, or damn, like I fuck with that song. I want you to fuck with that vibe. Like, I'm trying to really put you in my shoes. I'm trying to really put you in that environment, put you in that element, that mind of thinking. So if I can entertain you and, really just give you all that energy that you came to see, I feel like you're going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time, and you'll come back. I don't want you to come to one show and then be like, oh, all right, it was cool, and you don't come back. Like, I definitely want you to, seek that kind of energy.
Right. Big facts. Now, my next thing, subwaying into it, when it comes to routine and things of that nature, now, do you have a routine that before you mentally go on stage, or do you just go on with the flow?
I would say I had kind of like a go with the flow kind of stage, because when it comes to like routines, I have just like daily shit that I be doing, like, praying and everything like that. Like, when I'm praying and when I'm reading, studying, and, just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm already going to be on that frequency. Like, I'm up here. I'm already on that wavelength of success, that wavelength of empowerment. You feel me? So as long as I'm doing my things that I need to be doing outside of that, everything else is kind of go with the flow. I don't think about it too hard. I kind of just roll with the punches. Okay. Because, like I said, every song is different. Every performance is going to be different. Every venue is going to be different, even if you go to the same venue twice. So I don't want to get into too much of a routine where when something changes or something goes wrong that I can't control, I'm throwing off and I'm going to be fucked up.
Right. Big facts. Now, when it comes to songs that you've written and created, what song for you can you say has been your most favorite song that you can say that you really rock with the most? And do you listen to your own music?
I basically only listen to my music, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I'll check out, bodies of work. Shout out to Rap Alert 2.0. Y'all go follow him. He be keeping me up to date on all the latest drops, all the latest, any kind of news and music, he be on that. So whenever somebody I rock with, they drop some music, I'll definitely sample it and, see how I'm feeling about it, digest it, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to my main rotation, it's basically all me. Or sometimes I'll throw in Cardi, Playboy Cardi. I bang with Cardi heavy. So he'll be in it. Chavo with Pierre Born Sauce Records. I'll be listening to Chavo and Pierre. But for the most part, yeah, I listen to all of my music. I love all my music just because, again, to me, my music is real. Like, I've I understand what I was talking about. I remember those feelings I had when I was in the life position that got me to write the music. And in terms of my favorite songs, one of the favorite ones I wrote was called Numb, which detailed like a broken relationship I was a part of for a while, and you know what it was like to overcome that, and you know all those kinds of struggles. So whenever I hear it, I'm just like, damn, like I've come a long way since then. So I can appreciate that track a lot. And in terms of some of my newer work, for example, a song called Glass, you know, being in the trenches, what that was like, you know, all that kind of experience. Or you know, one last like 300 Degrees, the one I previewed for you, where it's that same kind of concept, but more of like a mellow or upbeat kind of a feeling. People who haven't necessarily lived like that can still kind of get that feeling without it being too overwhelming, and you know, you can't understand it.
Okay, okay, I definitely can relate to that. Now, you know, now when it comes to the artistry world, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of people out there that support your music, that listen to your music, that listen to your songs, sing your songs, things of that nature. Yeah. But as an individual and as an artist, how does that make you feel to know that you have that ongoing support and people are able to recite your lyrics back to you? How does that make you feel as a whole?
It definitely, I get a sense of joy from it, a sense of pride and knowing, you know what, it's not just me out here that sees the potential, that sees the progress. You know, there are other people that are supporting, but just at the same time, I try not to get too gassed up by that, because everybody's going to have an opinion. So somebody that likes your stuff doesn't necessarily mean someone else that's similar to them might like your stuff. Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I try not to get too wrapped up on it, just because, you know, just as many people like your stuff is going to not like your stuff. So if you get too wrapped up into thinking you're good, you might not put the work in that you need to put in because you gas yourself up too much. Or if you get too caught up in the, oh, this person didn't like this, you might change a song that would have been a hit because a million other people would have liked that.
Right, right. Okay. Now, I want to kind of piggyback for a second, because I asked you about advice for younger up-and-coming artists, but now I want to throw the question back on you. If you had to give your 10-year-old self some advice, what would that advice be?
My 10-year-old self, read. I just started reading recently within the last year, and I would definitely tell myself, read. Because you hear it all the time as a kid, you know, knowledge is in books, like blah, blah, blah. One of my favorite quotes, I read this, you know, every day. A wise man will find a $30 book and grab $1 million idea from it. Whereas an unwise man will, and it's really rich and poor. That's what the real thing is. But basically, like, an unwise man is going to find a $30 book and he's going to pass it up if he can't buy it for 15. So it's all about that mindset. So I would just tell myself, read, try to get as much knowledge as you can, and keep a healthy mindset.
Okay. I can fuck with that. I can definitely fuck with that. Now, I want to know this. Now, I talk about this a lot, but you know, it's all within how the person answers it. But when it comes to Mount Rushmore and things of that nature, you know, you have your top, you have the top 5 presidents on that mountain. But if you had to take those top 5 presidents off the mountain and put the top 5 favorite artists of all time, past, present, or alive, who would that be?
You said what, bro? 1 second. Oh, go ahead. My top 5. That's a good question. I'm not mad at that. Kendrick's definitely in my. This is in no order. Order. Kendrick is in my top 5. Young Thug is in my top 5.
Okay.
I feel like he brought a lot of change to music. I'm gonna throw J. Cole in my top 5.
Okay.
Now, look, some people are going to be upset about this because I'm not putting this person in my top 5 for lyricism. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to, like, vibe of music, when he's really on it, this is a tough one between 2 people. And not everybody's going to agree on this, but that's why I'm saying this. I would throw Pierre, or I would throw Cardi, Playboy Cardi, in my top 5 because of the diversity they brought to music. But when it comes to, oh, shit, it's fucking be out here. When it comes to me personally, I'm taking Pierre. Bro, chill, bro. My lotion smells good. This nigga not leaving me alone. I'm taking Pierre.
Oh, okay.
Got 4?
All right. So, next thing I want to know is, so, how long? So my next thing is, how long how long do you usually be when it comes to like studio time and things of that nature? And whatnot. How long are you usually in studio? dropping down tracks and things of that nature?
Well, I mean, I have one right at the crib, so I be in this joint every day. Like, it's actually in my daily schedule. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but Eminem actually took his career like a 9 to 5. Like, he would be in the studio from 9 to 5, just hustling, like working towards his craft. So I emulate a little bit of that by, every day I get up and I'll surf through beats for a couple hours. I actually got a tough man's that produces. Shout out J Pump, proud by J Pump. He'll send me a 20 pack and I'll go through that, work on some music, but I try to get in daily.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, is there any artists out here other than, and I know I probably asked you this earlier, but is there any artists out here that you feel that is gonna be the next up and coming star, or do you feel like it's still some artists out here that's still on the come up? Who, or let me rephrase that. Who do you feel like right now in music wise is the next big thing?
Lil Baby has been doing his thing. Like, he's already up there, but I think he has higher to climb. For real. He's been on it. I think Dirk is going to get a lot more popular than he is. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Like I said, he had a real hard tape that he just dropped. He just dropped his deluxe this Friday too. So I think Baby's going to get up. I mean, not Baby. Dirk's going to get up there. And when it comes to this subject, this is why I've actually been pushing myself harder in the last year, just because I was actually supposed to get a collab with Lil Nas X right before Old Town Road blew. Like, wow. He's actually still following me. And I remember I was going through a lot of shit in my life at the time. And this was one of the times when I wasn't working on music like daily. Like, sometimes I would just sit in the studio and I would just sit there and play shit, but I wasn't hustling for real.
Right.
And I had reached out to him. I was already following him for a while. I was shouting him out, and I was like, bro, you're up. Like, you're about to come up. This is before he dropped that jump, before anybody knew about it. And I was like, I'm trying to get a song with you. Like, I really fuck with your music. And he actually, once he signed, he took down all his old music, but I was really fucking with him. And I reached out to him one day, and I was like, yeah, let's get on the track. I got the perfect one for you. And he was like, bet, send me over some beats, send me over the track, and I'll see if, we'll collab. And like I said, I was going through a lot of shit in my life, so I put it off. I was like, I'll do that shit later. Later turned into a month, and this nigga dropped that shit like a month after I reached out to him. And I was just like, damn, that's crazy how life works like that sometimes.
Right.
So ever since then, I've been a little bit disconnected, just because I was like, I got my own work to put in.
Okay. Well, definitely. Shouts out to Lil Nas X. I'm sure that probably would have been a dope, a very dope track for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? All right. So my last question I have for you, bro, is, with everything that's been going on, with all the, the Black Lives Matter movement, that's going on and things of that nature, has any of that influenced you in a way to where it's now being put into your music, or are you just going off based off your own vibe, your own zone?
Well, I'm gonna always go based on my own vibe and everything, not to diminish Black Lives Matter. Like, I've been out protesting. I fully support the movement. And it's not just Black Lives Matter. It's a whole face. There's a bunch of other groups that do really great work as well, and just everyday people. But I'll say I've always had, like, a hint of it in my music. Like, I have certain songs like Karma, like songs that are they're a little bit more conscious and they talk about more, real life shit. Mm-hmm. But I mean, growing up Black, like, this is it's a part of who I am. So, whether I'm talking about it directly or not, I'm going to always be doing things to support the movement. And, as far as the music comes, I try to let it be natural. So whatever I'm feeling at the moment, whatever I'm living at the moment is what I kind of like to, put down.
Okay. Well, that's what it is. But that does it for the interview piece. So now I want to tap into a segment where I allow you to pretty much, engage the people and letting them know what new projects that you're working on, any new tracks or songs that you're working on, so that way we be on the lookout for it, so that way we can tap in and plug in with you.
Well, like I said, I'm not planning on doing any serious drops for the next, 2 to 3 months, just because I have so much work that I need to fulfill in order to see through this vision that I have. But like I said, I just shot my music video to a song called 300 Degrees. I could preview it before we get off this, John, if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, a video to that. I have another 5 videos I have in my head in the hole. I'm about to go back to Florida in like a week and a half and go record 2 videos, actually. So it's a lot of work incoming. We're working on a vlog series at Brinks Entertainment. So we just have a little daily vlog where it's daily life, it's clips of us in the studio, it's us traveling, us just living life, having a good time. You feel me? Like the Brinks is a lifestyle. It's not just a label. Like, this is how we live. So we want to share that with y'all. So that's in the works. A couple episodes of that are already done. So that's probably going to be, you know, a consistent drop once we get the first episode out. Follow that up with some videos and some new single releases. I don't plan on having a full body of work put together to release within the next year, because I'm going to focus heavy on singles. Like, I'm just going to keep dropping back to back to back, you know, get people excited. And some other things that are in the works that I'm going to keep to myself until it's the right time.
Right. Definitely don't want to give it away right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So last things first, before we wrap it up, where can the people follow you at? Where can they tap in with you? How can they plug in with you so that way they can be, you know, on the lookout?
Okay, so yeah, on Instagram is where I'm most active at Jubeh _ JUBEH. I'm getting on YouTube right now. I don't want to give out the YouTube yet because it's all fucked up. Like, I still got to get that joint together. So right now you can tap in with me on Instagram. I'm also on Spotify. I'm on Apple Music, all major streaming platforms at Jubeh. Probably got like 5 or 6 songs up at the moment that are just live everywhere, but it's going to be a lot of work coming. So just tap in with me on IG and you're going to definitely, see what's up.
Most definitely. Well, bro, I want to take this opportunity right now to appreciate you for coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? Definitely first time for you, you know what I'm saying, being on my show. So I appreciate it. I definitely can't wait to see what you got in the next coming months. Definitely going to be tapped in with you, be plugged in with you. And like I said, definitely, you know what I'm saying, any work that you got, send it to me, and I'll be promoting it on my show. And, you know what I'm saying, I definitely promote it on my pages, and we can, you know, so we can possibly work at some point.
I appreciate that, man.
Already, well, like I said, bro, you take care of yourself, hang in there. And like I said, definitely send me that song so that way I can, you know what I'm saying, listen to it. And
you want me to preview it real quick before I step off?
Yeah, you can.
All right, yeah, I'll do that real quick. Yo. Hey, run 300 degrees real quick. It's my cousin, the engineer himself. Balenciaga.
Okay.
Yo, what's good?
What's good?
You want to get on this jump? Nah, I got my videographer right next to me too. But he rather be behind the camera.
Okay.
I don't need to. Yeah. I was broke, it was broke with me. It was broke with me. I was broke, it was broke with me. I was broke, it was broke with me. I'm turning up in my like 300 degrees. Turn my cold, it wasn't no love in the streets. Don't need no bitch, they can't get no love from me. I was a bro, and they was a fucking with me. I'm turning up in my like 300 degrees. Turn my cold, it wasn't no love in the streets. Don't need no bitch, they can't get no love from me. Cruising through this shit, I'm still live with my gang. All about that bread and my niggas on the same thing. We was on that block, breaking down rocks, had to keep niggas with us. Now we in these hills, plotting on bills, got a couple niggas with us. I was just out on the road, was nigga my plans, and nigga was saying the rest. It's in the bed of some days, I sleep when I'm dead, I feel myself out in the truck. I was just battling my dog, and spitting the bars, and telling me they were black. Told him to bang the stove, got the 10, still the team down. I was broke and they was a fucking with me. Now I'm turning up and I like 300 degrees. Turn my cold, it wasn't no love in the street. Don't need no bitch, I can't get no love from me. I was broke. Oh yeah, you gotta get you need more words. I meant to tell you that.
Yo, I fuck with that.
Turn my cold, it wasn't no love in the street. You said what?
I said, yeah, I'll definitely fuck with that though. I definitely fuck with it. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, definitely like the delivery of it, you know what I'm saying. Definitely seems like it has a very dope, you know what I'm saying, substance behind it. So I definitely fuck with it. So definitely, you know what I'm saying, definitely Make sure you send that shit to me. And like I said, I definitely promote it all over my pages and shit like that, and get people locked in, get people tapped in, and definitely see where that shit can go. You know, so try to get them numbers up, try to run them numbers up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Already. Well, like I said, bro, I appreciate you, and like I said, we definitely gonna chop it up again at some point down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You stay up, bro. Keep hustling.
All right, for sure.
All right, bro.
All right. And there you have it, guys. Episode 70 of the Independent Scene with your boy Honcho J and my boy Jubei. Make sure you guys tap in with him. Make sure you follow him, and make sure you guys tap in next week for episode 71. I'm gonna be doing another live with another dope artist. So make sure you guys stay tuned in, stay locked in, and as I always say, stay safe, stay blessed, stay prayed up. And as I always close out every single broadcast, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Once again, peace and blessings. This is your boy Honcho J23, and I'm live. This is your boy. I'm out.